harmonizing with nature. With over 4 decades of changing lives, your self-discovery archaeologist, get ready to be the best of you with your host, Beverly Zeimet.
Hello and welcome to the Beverly Zeimet Show, where being the best you that you can be has just gotten easier. My guest today is Llynne Switzer, calling in from Kirkland, New Mexico, which is outside of Farmington, right? Right?
Very good.
Welcome, Llynne. Welcome.
Hi there.
It,
It's really good to be here today with you, Beverly. I thank you so very much for having me on your show.
Well, you know what? It's always a pleasure having people that I know on the show and those that I don't know. Because we've known each other now, what, 8 years, 9 years?
It's been a long minute. That's all I can remember. Back when I lived in Vegas is when I first met you, and I've moved a lot since then. And here we are yet again having this conversation from completely different areas.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. The technology just kind of like keeps you like next door, right?
It's great. It really is. I'm super thrilled.
Yeah, and now with this whole quarantine thing, going on, thank gosh we have this technology, right?
Oh, definitely, because it has enabled me to branch out even further than what I was already helping people with in the first place. So this technology is just a lifesaver for us.
Oh, God. So share with the people what exactly it is that you do, Llynne, because you do so many cool things.
I am a professional fairy godmother. I help people design a personal life and a small business that is not only profitable, but they absolutely love. Okay? So with that in mind, let me ask you this, Beverly. What's your biggest dream?
My biggest dream?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, gosh. I have to pick one?
Well, okay, yeah. For the sake of this conversation, just one. Let's pretend I actually have a magic wand that works and does more than just lights up and looks pretty.
Okay.
And maybe next time I'll get to bring that on the show. It's currently packed away right now. But what would it be if I could wave my magic wand? What would you like?
Okay, I would like my Renegade Icon RV.
That is a very, very nice RV. Currently looking at RVs myself, and I've looked at the Renegade Icon. Absolutely a beauty. You're going to absolutely love that.
I know.
So let me ask you this. Do you believe in the law of attraction?
I do. I've actually used it, and it works.
It does. Do you know it's backed up by science?
Yes. For a long time I didn't know that, but wow, when I discovered the science behind some of this stuff, it's like fascinating.
It is. It is absolutely amazing, and I am truly a science fangirl at heart. So when I realized that there were 32 different branches at least that all agreed on the same thing, that your thoughts control your reality, I was super stoked. Let me tell you. Now, in regards to your Renegade Icon, where are your thoughts on in regards to having it?
Oh, I see myself driving it. So when I jump out my little car, right, I just see myself climbing into my Renegade and just going, right?
Right on. And see, that's perfect, because that actually helps you manifest it into your life faster.
Awesome. That's awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, the name of the unit, it's called Renegade.
Oh, that fits you perfectly, honey. Trust me. Having known you for as long as I've known you, you are definitely a renegade at heart.
And it's I've been traveling since '97, right? And it just keeps getting better and better. And the life on the road is such a freedom. And I know you've moved from different places, off and on, because I've had an opportunity to gosh, run into you in a lot of different states, right?
Yes.
So you're taking your little adventure on the road. It's going to be
Yes.
fun.
It will. It will. I'm really looking forward to it. I have been working towards building the laptop lifestyle in my life, personal life, as well as my business for the last 10 years. And now that is about to become a reality. Now, I understand I have to stay safe. I have to stay at home right now, given the current issue. But, when that is over and I'm allowed to travel, watch out, world. Here I come.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. I'll tell you, there's nothing like driving down the open road in your RV, because you sit up high, right? And it's like the world is out there in front of you, and it's just like breathtaking. It's like flying out here in space. We're both out here in space right now. It's pretty cool, right? And you just kind of have that freedom to be able to just move and go and do. And I think sometimes we kind of miss that when you're talking about the law of attraction and dreaming, where has our dreams stopped? Where have we kind of halted those dreams? And now being the world the way it is, the world, right? And an opportunity to stay, because we have to stay home. The time that we would fill up with other things now is a time that we fill up with what's in our little space that we're in.
Yes.
So it's a time to open up those dreams and maybe see where they are going once we get out of this.
Right. And, that applies to every area of your life as well, because in every area you should have a dream. You should have something that motivates you. And when all of those dreams combine into one thing, that is the perfect life for you. That is the life filled with love and passion and happiness and joy and abundance in all areas. And that is what I help people obtain.
Wow, that's cool. Hey guys, you want your own fairy godmother? Right?
Come on.
She's better than the tooth fairy, right? She's better than the tooth fairy.
Definitely.
So Llynne, how did you come up with that name, fairy godmother? What is the story behind that?
Well, I am a huge Disney fan, but I'm more into Disney villains than I am Disney anything else, okay? And, the Disney villains are great, but they don't portray that amazing wish fulfillment quality that I like. So I looked at the fairy godmother, because I've always been drawn to the fairies and angels and things like that. And fairy godmother has always been every story that I've ever read that's had a fairy godmother. She's been my favorite character. Every play that I've seen, she's been my favorite character. So when I was living in Sedona, I was working with a mastermind group there. And I'm like, guys, I need to rebrand. And they're like, so tell us what you do. And so I brought out my list of everything that I do. And it's a long list, okay? And they're like, that's a long list. That's a mouthful. I'm like, I know. I help people create their desired reality. And they're like, oh, like a fairy godmother. And I'm like, yep, just like a fairy godmother. So I admire Disney wholeheartedly. And while I call myself a professional fairy godmother, understand that I work with the subconscious mind. I work with the law of attraction. I work with you, your dreams, your hopes, your fears, to help you create that journey into that dream life. So that's how I came up with being a professional fairy godmother.
That's a great story. Wow, that's cool. I like it. So, hey, if you guys like what she said, and you want your own personal fairy godmother, that can really give you direction and everything, hey, comment below. Llynne and I've known each other, like you said, I don't know, 8-9 years, whatever it's been.
A while.
Yeah.
A while.
And she's actually been a coach for me, and I've been a coach for her.
Oh yeah.
Right?
And we've helped each other out so much over the years that whenever there's a problem now, we know where the other one is just a phone call away. It's like, hey, text me, call me when you're free. I need to talk. I need to resolve this. And Beverly works and helps you get through some amazing transformations. I know. I've been on the receiving end on it. And like she said, she's been on the receiving end of my coaching to help her transform her life and her business into what she wants and to get past the blocks and the obstacles that are currently facing her as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that, if you're a coach, you think that, oh, well, they have all the answers. No, people need people. We are on a planet, that's humanite. Whatever else word to use, right?
Right, yeah.
But people need people, right? And to be held accountable, also to bounce things off of. So coaches need coaches. You talk to any successful person, right? Every millionaire out there, and they're going to tell you that they've had coaches all along the way, and they still have coaches. Right? They still have coaches. So it doesn't mean you're inferior or anything. It means that you are looking to become that better you, and that's what this show is all about, right? Becoming that best you that you can be. Well, how does that work? It works when you ask others for assistance, and that was probably one of the hardest things for me to do, was to ask for assistance.
Same here. Asking for assistance still sometimes is very difficult for me, and I just have to go, ego, get out of the way, I need help. And I have to ask if I'm going to get it, because a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Ooh, I like that. A closed mouth doesn't get fed, right? So a closed mind doesn't get fed either, right?
That's right.
So, and that all builds on what your belief system is, what your story is, what your database includes, right? Because sometimes that old database can be what's sabotaging us, right? Self-sabotage. And it's like, whoa, what do you do to get around that? So you have to ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind, right? So with the law of attraction, feeding the mind has to be critical. Am I correct or incorrect?
Oh, it's absolutely critical, because, your thoughts create your reality. And not only does science prove this, but when your conscious mind is thinking on stuff, and science has shown us through psychological studies that the human brain has over 2,000 thoughts every single minute.
Oh my gosh.
We are only consciously aware of maybe an eighth of those throughout the day.
No wonder you feel like a scatterbrain, right?
Right? And here's where it gets even more strange and tricky. We are programmed to have negative thoughts. And it's actually 5 negative thoughts for every single positive thought that you have. Now here's where things get really flipped upside down. When you're trying to manifest a better life, you have to keep that positive mindset. You have to keep that thought pattern rising high, so your vibrations in your cell ranks high.
1 second here.
Yeah.
1 second here. I know where you're going. I want you to keep going there, but I have one question. You said we have 2,000 thoughts per minute?
I believe it's per minute. I may have to go back and double check that, but that's an awful lot per day, and I know.
I think you're right. We're going to use that analogy, right? So just bear with us, guys. So let's just say you got 2,000 thoughts, and how many are negative?
It's 1 out of every 5. So 4 out of those 5 are negative. So if you take 2,000 thoughts,
1/5 of 2,000 would be
400.
So you're saying you have 400 positive thoughts and 1,600 negative thoughts?
Roughly, yes.
Oh my gosh! No wonder we're basket cases, right?
Right? No wonder that we're living in fear and anxiety-ridden, and we've got digestion issues, and our stress levels are way too high.
So then when people say, Oh yeah, law of attraction, that stuff's crap. It doesn't work, whatever. They don't realize that they've got, 4/5 of the thought patterns they're having like every minute of the day is really the problem. It's not the manifestation. It's not that the law of attraction doesn't work. Is that you've got all this clutter up here of that negative that you have to recognize to haul out of the way.
Yes.
See,
okay.
that's where I can come into, right? Because I do pretty good about moving that stuff out of the way, right?
You do, really do. So let me break this down how this actually works.
Yeah, do the science. Okay? Do the science, because that's fascinating.
Okay. So here's how this boils down. We live in a reality that is composed of vibrating energy streams. And you and I are nothing more than vibrating energy. Our brains are these amazing organic supercomputers. And what it does is through the different systems that we have, it translates that energy into solid matter around us.
Okay.
Now, so here's what happened. Our thoughts are thinking about things. We decide something with our conscious mind, right? And our conscious mind tells our subconscious mind, hey, I need everything you've got in regards to a table. I need to go buy a new table. Okay?
So
subconscious mind is going to go, okay, well, here's what I like. Here's what our memories are. Here's our emotions in regards to a table. Then you're going to go online and you're going to start looking for said table, or you're going to go to your local furniture store and you're going to look at said table, or you might go to Pinterest and just get more ideas for a table if you're kind of crafty. Okay? Now, all of these started off as a thought person on the thought form on the other end, and became real because the artists took the time to get it manufactured and put into mass production and shipped to your local store or put on the local app or website so that you can buy it, right? So your conscious thought is now, I'm going to go get a table. So you're looking through all of this, and then you purchase said table. You may not even ever see it in person until it arrives by the delivery truck at your door. Okay? And then you go and you set it up and you've got your new table, and hopefully it's exactly what you wanted. Law of attraction works a lot like this. It is a law that is actually, okay, so law of attraction is an umbrella term, and it covers several different laws, 7 of them to be exact. Okay, in the universal laws. And I'll break all those down in a video there on my channel, The Fairy Godmother Show. So I know we're not going to get into that right now. But these laws operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They cannot be bargained with. Some of these laws cannot be changed. They have a very specific parameter of how our thoughts turn into our reality. Okay? So one of those things that you have to do is train your mind to have a lot of positive thoughts. When you have a lot of positive thoughts, it raises your vibration. And I'll get into why that's important here in a minute. Okay? So what happens is your thoughts go through your head. You figure out that you want this table. Your subconscious is on board with this. It actually sends a signal out to every cell in your body. And that cell actually vibrates then with those specific instructions. Now, keep in mind, some of our cells are set to vibrate automatically for breathing. Some of them are for moving. Some of them are for digestion. Some of them are for swallowing. Some of them are for seeing. Some of them are for hearing. So in addition to those jobs, they will also go out and vibrate that, hey, it's time to get a table. And it's time to get a table that is of certain height, certain width, certain length. Because we live in a very, very matter-based world. It has certain rules and regulations, okay? Now, here's what I absolutely love. Several years ago, scientists, when they're looking for the unifying theory of everything, they started figuring out the mathematical computations and putting them through super quantum computers. And then they started plugging in some things like theoretical astrophysics and quantum physics and vibrational study and, that type of thing. And they figured out that there's this pattern in the code of the universe. Now, this pattern is super important. This pattern is actually called dual repeating block code. And what dual repeating block code is the same code that video game designers put into their code to make their world a reality.
Wow, that can you repeat that? That was like I'm listening intently here with this. It's like repeat that block code thing again, okay?
Okay, dual repeating block code. What this is, it is what video game designers put into their matrix, into their coding when they are designing a video game to create the world that the people live in for their video game. Okay. We have that same code in the basis of our entire cosmology. Humans are an amazing creature. We have such amazing things given to us at birth, like free will and creativity. We literally create our own reality from the time that we become conscious and go forward. Now, here's the thing. Just like a computer, though, we do pick up some bad programming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got a few of those on my computer.
Yeah, and I've still got a few of those stuck in my head. We're humans, okay? And what I love about Beverly is she goes in and she helps me get rid of those bad computer codes in my subconscious, in my reality. So then I can go in with the skills that I know about manifestation, and I can totally rewrite things and rewrite a reality that is more perfect for me, that I don't have these emotional hangups, this vibratory code hanging around in my cells, creating a reality that sucks. Because when you live in a reality that sucks, no offense to those that do, because trust me, I have been there. Okay. I have been homeless. I have fought for custody of my daughter. I have try this again. I have suffered from ill health for most of my life, chronic debilitating issues. Okay. When I started releasing all of this trapped cellular stuff and vibrating on a higher level so that I could create my reality the way that I wanted it, so that I could be happy, so that I could be filled with joy, things started to change. My health improved. And you have to understand, it wasn't too long ago that Western medicine, all my doctors are going, well, we can drug you up and hopefully improve the quality of your life, but it's going to suck from here on out. I'm 47. I need 2 total knee replacements, a new spine, new hands, new shoulders, according to the doctors. Okay. Me and my body, we've had a few issues, let's say. But I started letting go of all this negativity I was holding on to. And some of it I've been holding on to since my childhood. These negative programs, these things that have affected me that I didn't even realize that had worked themselves into every aspect of my life. These are those negative viruses that I was talking about just a few minutes ago. Because with them there, I kept self-sabotaging. And I couldn't figure out why my manifestations would work for a little while. And then everything would fall horribly, horribly wrong. It would fall apart. I mean, and I would go lower than I was from where I rebuilt from. Once I started releasing those, I'm not in a lot of pain anymore. I don't have a lot of stiffness. I can use my hands, okay? I can stand for longer periods of time. I can sit for longer periods of time. I can work on manifestations and getting things done that are sticking for several months now. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. There are still long periods of time that I am waiting for manifestations to happen. But I also know the signs to look for saying that the universe has my back and it's working on the manifestation. Don't doubt. It'll happen. Have faith. Have belief. Focus on what you want and trust in us. We've got you. And that works because that is powerful. And when you know that you are safe and you are protected, and you can change your reality just by thinking about what it is that you want and visualizing that new reality and staying happy. There's a few more things to it than this, but that's the basis of it. It changes everything. You want that love of your life? Well, then clear up the love blocks that you have so you can attract it and you can be that magnet. You want abundance and financial prosperity? Open the door to what it is that you want, what it is that you are passionate about, what it is that gives you hope, that fuels your dreams. Hey, there we go, talking about dreams again, like we were at the beginning of this call. Because dreams are important. Dreams help you get out of bed every day. That hope, that passion, it's what's going to get you through this tough time. It's going to get you over to that other side and being that abundant person, living that life that you love. Because right now, the whole world is on pause.
Llynne, that is like so amazing, and it's interesting because a lot of the things that you're saying, we've heard over and over and over. It's things that we know, but a lot of times we just kind of like forget. So it's a great reminder, to understand that. And again, the science, that's what fascinated me here is that science now behind it. And I started looking more into the science of the work that I did too, because it's been proven. We have the equipment, science has the equipment to hook us up, and see what results with all the different type of modalities and energy work and healers and things that happen. And so there's that proof out there, which is really fascinating. But at the same time, it does boil back down to the belief, because regardless of whatever that science is, if your belief isn't solid in yourself, it's not going to happen no matter what. And I like what you said, that sometimes you've had your dreams put out there, and you put your manifestation out there, and it's like, well, come on, guys, I got it all in place. What's taking so long, right? I want to share this with you, and maybe I don't know if I've ever shared this story, but I grew up in Iowa, and about 12 miles down the road is where they built these born-free RVs. And and so we drove by them every time we had to go to the grocery store, or we went to my uncle and aunt's house because they lived in that town, So it was consistently always going by there, right? And I can remember being like 5 years old, saying, someday I'm going to own one of them. One of them is mine. And it was in, I believe it was like 96 or 97, when I drove my first RV, that Born Free, because that was the name of the company.
Nice.
Off the lot. And that 5-year-old memory did not show up until I turned on the main highway and I was headed back to the farm, to my mom's. That it hit me. Oh my God, I started crying, just knowing that it really happened. So sometimes those manifestations take longer than normal, right? Because it is the timing. That doesn't mean that the universe or God or whatever that belief is isn't listening. And it has to be at the right time, right? And then other things you can manifest in a thought, and boom, it's like it's instant on the spot, right? So it's like it's like today, right? Lynn's gonna be on my show. She was just asking me this morning, we need to set a time for me to get on the show. It's like, yeah, we do. Okay. And then an hour ago, I got a text from the person who was supposed to be on the show today that said, my computer's broke down and I'm not able to do the show.
Yep.
Call, ding, 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 ding. Hey, Llynne, you want to know when we can do the show? How about in an hour?
Okay, but because the world is on pause and I'm going out and being the best me I can be and helping others be the best me they can be, this is the universe's way of saying, this is how this works. We got your back. Right. Go do this. Okay. So that instant manifestation that you're talking about, you can do that for a lot of things, but the bigger the manifestation, the longer time it's going to take before it manifests.
And you don't, it's not for you to know the when or the how. It's for you to create it in your mind, believe it in every cell of your body, and project it and begin living it as if it were. Like, I'm driving my Renegade every day.
Mhm.
Well, I don't go every day in my car these days because of circumstances, but it's still there. When I look outside and I see the car sitting there, I see my Renegade. So again, it's that projection, right?
Mhm.
So I knew Llynne was spontaneous, right? So she asked me this morning when, and I said, well, I'm not sure, but I will let you know, right? So
Yeah.
I let her know.
And here we are. And it's, that's just how the universe works in a lot of things. When you're ready to step through that door, when you're ready to push that button, it will be made available for you.
Right.
And when you step through, be grateful for it, because that is another opportunity that you've been given, that you have manifested.
Yeah, and that is so true, So recognize the things that you do manifest. Recognize the things all around you that you created change with. And some things change even when it wasn't your thought, maybe a conscious thought. Because sometimes it's those unconscious thoughts that run on autopilot that cause that interference, because again, it's part of that brain chatter. So let's just say you responded to someone, and they ask you to do something, and you just without thinking say, oh yeah, I'd love to do that, great, no problem, right?
Yeah.
And then you have this buyer's remorse thing, right? After you part ways and you're thinking, what the heck did I just say? It's like, oh my God, now I'm committed to this. And this is that automatic pilot thing. Remember the last time, and who do you think you are? Do you think you're good enough to do that? All of that stuff is coming up from that old database to do what? To sabotage your forward direction. And so when you can recognize that what's at play here, it's that subconscious you spoke about, right? That's up there saying, boom, 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 boom. No, you're not. It's that conflict, right? It's that conflict, And so sometimes it gets so strong that we actually call the person and say, you know what? I can't do this, right? And then you feel bad because you had to change it. And then you have buyer's remorse for saying, I'm not going to do it. And then you beat yourself up about that, right? This is like you can't win for losing, right? So be aware of what's going on here, what those thoughts are. Like Llynne said, when you can recognize what that is, and again, through that science of proving that in your cell are all these things that are in conflict, And another thing, when you're doing your vision or your dream, you're putting that manifestation out there, it has been proven, again, through science, that when you take that vision or dream and you create a real board where you put up pictures and words and everything of what it is that you're seeking to manifest, that it comes into reality faster than not. Is that true? And can you capitalize on that a little bit, Llynne?
Well, it really depends on the person. First off, you have to be visually stimulated, okay, for the dream boards to work. But as a society as a whole, we are now visually stimulated. So, we're getting there. Now, once again, everybody's going to have different results on this, but I personally use a dream board. Okay, what I'll do is I will put together a bunch of pictures that I like for representing different things, and I do mine on the computer, because what I do at that point is I'm able to go in and overlay text over certain images. And I just make a collage over things. And, I put that up as the backdrop on my computer. So every time I go to my home and I'm looking for icons, or I'm pulling up an internet link, or I'm pulling up a new program, I see this. And it reminds me of what it is that I'm working towards, what it is that I'm focusing on. And I just say a quick thank you and I go on. That's how I personally use them. Okay. Now, I also have on my dream board, let me see if I can pull it up. Give me a second. Okay. And it's a personal graphic that I put together. And it simply says, dreams do come true. Here's how to make it happen to you. Focus on being happy and positive, being confident and grateful. Focus on being in the moment, better health, and a healed body, and being an amazing coach who can transform people's lives all over the world. This is in the center of my dream board that I have on my computer. Okay. I just read it word for word, moved this up just a little bit so that I can see it. And I've also got things like I have accomplished my dreams now in big, bold, highlighted letters to further impact my subconscious. Now, the whole thing is when you're using a dream board, you really want to not only just put a whole bunch of icons that represent things to you, make it personal with those words, like you had said earlier. You really want to make it positive, and you want to make it having past tense. It's already been accomplished. Okay. Like I have purchased my dream house, and I have a picture of my dream house sitting up there. Wonderful twilight photo of a property I'm looking to buy eventually. Okay. But it says in there, I have accomplished my dream house right next to, or I have purchased my dream house. Sorry, it's really tiny print, but that's right next to the big ones that say, I have now accomplished my dreams, in and around that statement that I read to you earlier. So every time I work on my computer, I see this. Even talking to you now, I see the outline around this. And it's very, very powerful because when I go into my meditations, when I work on my visualizations, when I work on my gratitude, this is right here. When I'm sitting here building my business, my why is right here in front of me. So I never forget what it is I'm working towards. And that is how it works for me as a subconscious reminder, as a subconscious cue, as a subconscious manifestation tool to help bring about my desired reality.
Oh, thank you for that. That is so important. You know, you said a few really great things in there, right? Is the power of the spoken word, right? You know, so when you speak it as if it's already accomplished, because there is no time and space other than in this reality, right? So it's so when you do speak it as it already is, it has to come into that format. And again, it's your belief and moving that doubt out of the way. You know, I mean, let's go back into some of the biblical terms and things. And there's a lot of great philosophies and interesting quotes and stuff that come out of the Bible, right? And Jesus made the quote say, those things that I do, you can do an even greater, right? But he also said you can move mountains by your thoughts.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that whole parable about the mustard seed, that's exactly what that pertains to, in my opinion.
Right. So again, it's the power of the mind. So what was it? I think it was Zig Ziglar that said it. Maybe he stole it for somebody. But anyways, I'm sure every one of you have heard this before. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So let's use those words. Again, the power of the spoken word. What the mind. Now, the mind is not your brain. The mind is that higher consciousness of eternal intelligence that we all have access to, right? So there's your mind. If it can conceive it, conceive means what?
Put it into place.
Put it into vision,
To
put it
picture
into
it.
dream, to picture, right? And it can believe it. Belief is beyond a shadow of a doubt, just total belief and faith. It can what? Achieve, which is the end result that's out there in your projection. So understanding word, the power of word, right? So when you say I am, those are the two most powerful words in the dictionary, because I is who we are, right? And that's claiming. Am is another confirmation of a result. So what you put behind that, really be careful, because again, all those negative thoughts. So what if you put a negative noun behind that? Because the I am creates the action. And the action to what? So if you say you're sick, where are you giving the power?
Correct.
You know, what you focus on is what you get. So what you speak in that focus work together for that manifestation. Right? Do I have that correct in the order?
That is correct. Yes, 100%.
So when you look at that power that you personally have by paying attention to what your thoughts are, to what your mind information is giving you, what you speak in those words that you lay claim to.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
That is so powerful in everything that exists around you and where you take your destiny. Right?
Yes.
Right? So as a fairy godmother, right? And you wave that little wand.
Right.
Because we all have our own wand. So basically what you're doing is teaching every one of us how to take this little wand, turn it on, and point it in the right direction. Do I have that correct?
Correct. So that you can manifest what it is that you want that will make you happy.
That will make you happy. And that's something too that we have to look at ourselves, right? Because a lot of times we put ourselves on the back burner. And so we want to do for everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And we forget about our own happiness. We forget about our own desires, our own legacies, you know, our own dreams, right? Because we want to give to others. We want to do for others. We want others to have better than us, especially our children, things like that, right? So we get busy being busy to make it better for everyone out here.
But we forget about us in here.
And that's why the theme of this show is being that best you, being that best self, right? Because to be able to pass that out to other people, you have to have it fulfilled in here. So your cup of that inner you has to be full before you can pass it out here and offer it to others, right?
Correct. Yes. Yes.
And so it's a beautiful thing when you start to get that concept in that chronological order. And I think a lot of us run amok because we don't have those steps in place. And so we're over here, we're over there, and this and that. And then our belief system starts getting questioned in our own self. We begin to doubt because our confidence level goes down because it didn't happen that fast. Or it didn't happen the way we thought it should be, right?
Yep, and that's where we trip ourselves up. We get attached to an outcome, and the universe is going to give us what we're vibrating at. And if you're attached to a certain outcome and you don't get it, you're going to get disappointed. So one of the things I have found when I'm working on manifestations, always when I put that order out there for what it is that I want, this or something better, because that leaves it open to the universe to give me what is actually in my best interest that I want. And it may not be that exact thing at the moment. Say I'm going to go buy a new truck, right? And I've been focusing on a Chevy Silverado, but I'm given a Dodge Ram, even though it has all the same features, it's newer. So this is better. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
And I think that's key, you know, that you hit on that, you know, is asking for that or greater, right, regardless of what it is, right? And move away from the how. It'll come. But that's being aware and paying attention to how the universe is giving it to you. Where is the direction? And don't stay focused on saying that's the only way to get there, when in essence it's not, because you might crash and burn over here, right? And the universe is trying to steer you, like we were talking earlier, right? Is giving you an option to turn left instead of right, because left, the road is out and you're going to fall in a hole.
Right? And then if you're driving those pretty little RVs that we've got our eyes on, that's really going to suck. Just saying.
Yeah, so true. So be able to move in that flow of things, but don't lose the big picture of what it is, right? And again, it's in that timing. But you have to be specific. You can't just put out there and say, well, I want this, but then if I don't get that, I'll take that. Or you can give me that over there.
Right.
The universe doesn't work that way because it's an energy pointed in that direction, right? And so you've gotta stay on that focus of what that is, because if you don't, the universe is gonna say, well, I don't know what you want. First you tell me this, then you say, oh well, I'll know that, and then you say, oh well, no, I'll get that over there. So it's where all these shiny objects are. And so if you're grabbing this and you're grabbing that and you're grabbing that and you're telling the universe you want this, and then the next day you want that, and the next hour you want this, the universe is going to say, you know what? When you know what you want, let me know, and I'll create that vibrational match for you. But don't keep changing it in midstream, because, it messes me up, and then I have to question, well, now what do you want? Right? So know what that vision is, what that big dream is, and have patience, have trust, and belief in who you are and the chemistry of the outcome, and let the vibrational match make it, because there's all kinds of things that have to come together to do that, right? Whether it's funds, whether it's people, whether it's a different location, everything has to be in the right spot at the right time, and then poof, there it is.
There it is, and it's almost as if it's by magic.
Yeah. So know what you want. Put it out there, keep it in the vision. Don't change your mind every time you turn around, right? You can add other things to your vision, but never lose sight of the key element. And I think this is why people don't understand why the law of attraction, the secret, all these things, that are supposed to be like magical, instantaneous, don't happen. Because they keep changing their mind, right?
Or they don't have the right vibratory set to begin with, because they haven't dealt with the emotions that are blocking them.
Right. And that belief system, that doubt inside here, right? That inner doubt, right? Well, who do you think you are? And sometimes that's those old playing things from childhood where you may have heard, well, who the heck do you think you are that you're going to do that? You think you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. That's for the rich people on that side of the track, right?
I heard that growing up, trust me. Yep.
So again, we have to understand whose belief is it, whose doubts are it, how did our environment influence us, and being able to go into the self. And that's where that subconscious, because the subconscious is buried in every cell, right? And scientifically, that's been proven, and you had mentioned that subconscious. So to be able to move out that old destructive belief, that sabotaging automatic response, is why you have different coaches, you have different people who work in different healing modalities, and that's why Llynne and I work really good together, because my expertise lies in helping you get that stuff out of there, and then she can step in and say, now let's relocate where your dreams are, right?
Very much so, very much so.
And so people need people, and to be able to work together in that field, that's what it's all about, right?
Definitely. I fully agree. When you have that connection and you reach out for that help that you need, everything changes. And sometimes it can change with just a simple conversation, enough that your entire perception on the matter changes, and how you're dealing with the situation, no matter what that situation may be in the future, is definitely changed for the better.
And people know people, so don't be afraid to ask, because if someone can't assist you, and again, being in whoever you are, People want to be told, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. Think about that. Do you like to be told what to do? Not so much,
No.
right? However, if you can share, and when you're talking with someone, a friend or a family member or a total stranger, sometimes it's easy to talk to a total stranger, and it's like, I know I'm stuck. I need help with this, but I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. And that's why having a circle of acquaintances, your Rolodex, as we say in the industry, is to, when I have a client that is giving me information and I'm listening, it's really important and key when you are in that field, is to listen to what your client is asking for, and are you a fit? Have they reached the potential, and that's as far as you can take them, and what they're reaching out for, and then be able to guide them. It's like, I really understand what you're looking for, but the work that I do, I can't get you there. However, I know a couple of people that's their expertise. And so I can give you their names, and you can reach out to them to see who is going to be that match to take you to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if neither one of them work, come back and ask me, and we'll see if we can find another direction to get there. Or even ask them. They may know someone that said, I can take you a little piece of the way, but I know you got this far to go. Let me turn you on to. So be open to listen to guidance and direction from the experts in the field, right?
Definitely, yes.
Right? Right? So you wouldn't go to someone who is building a table, shall we say, and ask them to build you a car. No, they could probably build one out of wood, right? But I don't think it's going to get you where you wanted to go.
No, unless I'm in the boxcar derby, I don't think that's a good idea there. So
right. So know who you're speaking with to get to the object, the objectiveness or the outcome that you're seeking, but be open to suggestions from others. And being that practitioner again, and being on that side where your expertise is in whatever field, is not to say, well, you got to do it like this. It's not that way. It's being able to share that in an avenue, and being wise enough and vulnerable enough, to say, it's not my expertise. Let me let you go, so that you can reach that destiny. It's all about people helping people, being that best you that you can be. For me to help you become that best you is letting you go when the time is right, or letting you go before you even get started. And that's the whole key element of bringing all these different speakers together on the show, to give you an opportunity to say, she gets me, or he gets me, right? So comment below. If she gets you, comment below. Reach out to her. We have the technology to do that, right? And it is all about people working together in unison globally. You look where we all are now. We're all stuck in the same spot in our own little square box at home.
Right.
Now it's the opportunity to say, how can we reach out? We have excess time that was taken up doing other projects that aren't activities now. So we've got to look at that as to, how can we really get to know the identity of who we are, where our beliefs are, to work on those, so that when we are given permission to move out of the little box again, to really become that better us out there, as well as in here, because it starts in here, it's going to go into this little box, and then it's going to present itself out there to the world once again. That day is coming. That day is coming.
I agree.
Might be tomorrow, next week, next month. We don't know. But are you going to be prepared for it? And this is your time to not only prepare yourself, but if you are home with family members, if you have children, regardless of what those ages are, now is your time to really prep them. Give them that basics. Get yourself back to what those basics are. If you don't know what they are, you've got this little piece of equipment.
Right?
You've got this huge piece of equipment called Google.
Yeah.
That you can reach out. Go to YouTube. YouTube is great. How to. Right?
Yeah, they have videos on everything.
Everything. Things that I would have never thought of. How to comb your hair, how to brush your teeth, how to put on eye makeup, how to
Right?
how to peel an apple. So if you want to know it, it's out there. Right? That library of information is right at your fingertips, right? And it's knowing how to ask for it. So when you say how to, right, that's going to kind of get you into a whole stream of things. And know that here inside, how to. And when you're creating that dream, that vision, right, that manifestation, look at the how-tos in here, right? Look at the wants, the desires, and everything, and then let that how-to be told to you. So be aware. You have five. Well, you actually have six senses. You have five senses. See it coming. Hear for it. So listen, right? Speak it to the universe and to yourself out loud.
Yes.
Right? Smell it. Smell the newness of it. If it's whatever it is, right? Taste it. Taste it, because you can taste the feel of it. Right? So your see, touch, taste, smell, hear, right?
Yeah.
And then the unknown, that sixth sense, is that total belief beyond the shadow of a doubt. When you can put those five senses into place, you're unstoppable.
You are. And things just appear in your life as if by magic. I mean, your entire life changes, your entire viewpoint changes, and you enjoy your life so much more, so much more.
So, Llynne, gosh, we're at the top of the hour again already. It's like, where did the time
go? I know, right?
Gosh. So comment below. Let us know what you liked about this, what you agree about, what you don't agree about. But I hope you have a clear understanding of what it is to manifest and how you are the driver of that manifestation, right? So, Llynne, if you could leave the audience with one big little tip for their own fairy godmother, getting this little wand to light up, what would that be?
Remember, you get what everybody else gets. You get a life. How you use it is completely up to you, and it's your choice. Quit being a wallflower. Go out and make your dreams come true.
I just got chills all over my body.
Right.
So if you do what she said, being that best you that you can be, that you're going to go out there right now and do, is really going to be easier, right?
Yeah.
So, Llynne, I want to thank you again. It was an honor having you here. Great information. We will have to have you back again.
Oh, definitely, Beverly. Anytime, just send me that text and go, hey, let's do this.
We're ready to go.
Right?
So it's time for you to go out there, be that best you that you all can be out there, because Llynne and I are going to be the best we that we can be today. And we're going to say goodbye for now.
Bye.